incidents that happened?
I was at the Whites.
Whose apartment is that?
There's a Sigma Chi, he's a Sigma Chi, and a girl named Matt. She's a Pi Phi.
Who are the two Sigma Chis?
And they're both seniors, and I've known them for, and then I met up here.
Okay. And who told you? Who is?
He's also a Sigma Chi.
Is he older brother? Or,
No,
this is
no.
your age. Oh.
Yeah. Not older, I guess. He's a Sigma Chi.
How did he find out about it?
I can't remember exactly how I found out. I think it was an extension of being friends with him.
You can get along with David?
Yeah, he did.
So, when you found out about it, what did you think? What was your impression?
Well, at first I didn't believe it because, well, to give a little background, I originally heard, we were just watching football. It was football Sunday, we were just over there watching football. And I had seen the message that said they're investigating a homicide on King Street. And I assumed one person at first. And then I saw that it was, or heard that it was more people. And then I started texting people to see if they're okay. I texted Ethan and Xana. And then, because I knew that they were, obviously Xana lived there, Ethan was there a lot, and I was there a lot too. And then I found out that it was 4 people. And originally I assumed it was some sort of like freak accident, like Adele got drunk, belligerent, and, got in an altercation, someone smashed a bottle on their head, and, somehow it just died or something like that, is what I thought. And then came in, and he was like, did you hear what happened? And I was like, yeah, 4 people, like, it's just crazy. And he goes, no, Ethan and Xana. And then I just kind of didn't really know what to say. I just kind of sat there for a while. And then it kind of really hit me when I had to call my mom and tell her. And then when I had to call and tell them as well. There's another Sigma Chi who's in my PC, and was the one I mentioned earlier, who was really good friends with Ethan. And neither of them live up to right now, so that's what I called them.
So after you understood the full facts that these 4 in that location had been murdered with a knife, what did you think? Who did you think did it? What do you think the motive was, the circumstances were?
I really don't have any idea. There's not a single person who I could peg as wanting to hurt Ethan or Xana. Obviously, I didn't know the other 2 very well. And yeah, I heard that it was a targeted attack. Obviously, I'm not going to ask you questions about the thing, but I wouldn't have assumed it was targeted towards Ethan. My assumption is that he was just collateral being there, and especially being as big of a man as he is. He's a threat, whether he has a weapon or not. So that's kind of what I assumed with that he wasn't, intended to be killed, but obviously I don't know the case. And I'm only working off of just the information I've heard. But, yeah, it still doesn't make sense to me.
So of the circles of friends that Ethan was, so big circle up here, the Greek system, the university at large, versus some random stranger, do you think that it's somebody in the Greek system, or do you think it's somebody outside the Greek system?
I think it would have to be someone inside the Greek system.
Why?
this is also going on a bit of conjecture, so I don't know.
That's what I'm asking.
But,
I'm asking to speculate right now, so speculate away.
Just thinking in my own mind, their front door had code and would lock if it was closed.
Mm-hmm.
So someone would have either had to be there enough to know the code. Granted, there was also the back sliding glass door, which isn't probably much of an issue to break into, but I don't know where they did break into, or if they did break in at all. So they would either have had to know the code, which was not something they shared often. I didn't even know the code, and I was there a lot. So they would either have to know the code, or if they didn't know the code and didn't break in, then there would have to be someone that was there often enough for it to not seem weird. You know, because I mean, they would have big parties there where I would see people that I didn't know. But if there was just some random stranger there that no one knew, like, it would raise some red flags. Someone would be like, hey, who's this guy over here or something, or who's this person, and someone would probably go talk to them and be like, hey, what are you doing here? No one knows you here, something like that. So if they were there and had been there while people were there, I assume it had to be someone that they knew. Obviously, I don't know. And then, obviously, there's a chance that they, broke in through the back door or were hiding. So in that case, that doesn't really help. But
do you know if it was common to make sure that the slider was shut and locked before they went to bed? Or was security really a concern for them over there?
I feel like it was probably not that common of a thing, just